They actually found us at one of the VIA remodeling home shows. They came through the home show and found us that way. We talked a little bit with them, and then they actually came back into the showroom with some blueprints and some plans. Yes, so it was a knockdown of an older home, and they actually built a new home on it that had 3 levels. So they actually had their countertop colors that they had in mind, and we kind of worked from the countertop colors and worked backwards to match up the cabinetry, flooring, and things of that nature. So they actually had a really unique countertop. It was through Cambria. It's one that has a little bit more chunky appearance to it, a little bit more of a translucent chunk to it. It's one of those colors that you don't get to do very often, so it's kind of nice when we get to do them. Unique, not a lot of people fall in love with it. It's a color that you definitely have to like. It actually worked quite well with the tile backsplash that they did on their own. It just complemented one another. So the material itself was Cambria. So it's one of the quartz products that's out there. And with the countertop itself, it's a low maintenance counter. There's no resealing. It's non-porous, so it doesn't stain. There are little do's and don'ts as far as the cleaning of it. There are certain cleaners you can't use because they will react with the resins that are in the countertop itself and cause a clouding effect. So just mild soap and water and a sponge is really all you need to clean that surface. So in their kitchen, they went with the cherry wood. So it starts with a red undertone with the cherries, and then they went with a cinnamon stain. So it brought that really red richness of the cherry wood out. It was a very nice complement to tie everything together. So the cabinets stand out a little bit more, kind of mellows that tile backsplash a little bit, I think. So we went with the glass. I believe the one that we used in theirs, it's a little bit of that more of an old-fashioned glass. So it has a little bit of it's not a clear, but it has a little bit of that old worn look to it. So the flooring itself, that they ended up not using us to do the flooring, but we did help them as far as like putting all the colors together. That would be one of those vinyl products that's out there now. Those water resistant or waterproof type of vinyl products. So again, very low maintenance. You just basically use a Swiffer, nothing real heavy. You don't need to mop it with a wet mop. You can use the Swiffer or even like the Roomba that just goes around and does its deal cleaning everything up. Very durable. It will be something that can definitely take a beating. They have just starting off their family, so they have some young ones running around. So it's going to be a floor that's ideal for just the heavy flow and traffic they're going to have over the next 18 years. Yes, so they have a cooktop surface so that you have storage below the cooking surface, and then they have double ovens. So that way, especially during the holidays, you can do things like cook your turkey or your roast and then cook like stuffing or cookies or pies. So they went with a double oven. They have a prep sink and a main sink. So next to the oven is where you'll find their prep sink. It's between the oven and the cooking surface, which would be ideal when you're doing like food preps and things when you're cooking. And then they have their main sink, which is closer to the refrigerator along with the dishwasher. They did pick their own appliances, and then what we do when homeowners have their own appliances picked out, we will get all of the models and specifications and make sure that everything is going to fit and function within their space. Yeah, so the island is something that's going to be more of like their everyday sit-around area, and on the end, closest to where they have a closet area, they almost didn't do an overhang with seating there, and I think we were kind of back and forth for it for a while, and then we went with the overhang just because you do need just a little extra seating with a larger family. So you do have recessed lighting as your main lighting, and then over the island you do have some of the drop-down pendant type of lights, and with the open beam angled roof, they do have it so that the lights are all at the same level, and just the extension part coming down from the ceiling changes in the height. So a couple of things that I like about their kitchen was because we have the open ceiling, we're able to do the crown molding, which adds just a little bit more of a detail. A lot of times when we have an open ceiling like this and we don't have some kind of crown molding or trim at the top, it looks a little unfinished. So the crown molding just gives it that nice little pop character and finishes it off. And then in their glass cabinets, we actually did glass shelving with lights inside. So that way when the light is at the top, it's shining all the way through. I think it came out pretty much how they had envisioned it. They actually had good vision of what they wanted. Like I said, they came in with counter colors picked out specifically that they absolutely wanted to do, and then we built around that. But I think overall, working with them, they had a good idea of what they wanted the end to look like, and I believe we got it pretty on the mark, if not achieved exactly what they wanted. I would call it more of their Kaneohe retreat. So it's on the windward side. You've got that nice slower pace on the windward side. The nice, you got the mountains and then the cooler weather with the rain. I would say it's more of their retreat.